Hello to all my wonderful subscribers and welcome to all my new subscribers and viewers. Today I wanted to review and demonstrate some bronzers that I like to use. And since I'm very fair skinned, I do have to be careful about the bronzers that I use because I don't want them to come off looking like mud on my face. So I do have to use them very carefully, very sparingly. And I'm also going to review some brushes that I like to use for the bronzers. The first thing, and I already have I just have a CC cream on, a touch of concealer, and I have my blush on. And for the bronzers, the first one that I start off with is by the Balm. And this is Lou Manizer. And this one is a shimmery bronzer. So this one you do have to use very, very lightly. So there is some shimmer to it, but I do like it, and the color is very, very nice. But you can see that shimmer and that glow. And it's actually a very goldeny color. It's that right there. But it's a very goldeny color, and to use that on my skin, I have to be very, very light-handed, very, very careful. So the brush that I actually like to use with this, and I like to use the Lou Manizer basically to warm up my face. And the brush that I like to use is this big brush by Cosmetics. It's a huge, huge brush. You can see it's not your normal blush brush, powder brush. It's like half the size of my face practically. And it's very dense, super soft, as all of their brushes are. I absolutely love their brushes. They are wonderful, and they are really good weight. They're easy to control. And so I really like this one. Some people might find this one too big, but I've actually found this one really nice for dusting on just powder, and I've really liked it for putting on just very, very light amount of bronzer. So basically what I do with the bronzer is I just barely touch it, and I just go up to around the temple area, around the hairline, and I just work that in a little bit. And then I do the same thing on this other side. And just kind of dust it very, very lightly. I'm barely touching it. And just dusting it very, very, very lightly. Because I don't want to get an orangish cast, and I just want it to look basically like the sun has hit my skin a little bit. And that is, I know you may not be able to see it real clear, but that is very light. I don't like to use a lot of heavy bronzer, but I found this one to be good for really warming up the skin a little bit. And I could probably use a little more right in there. And basically I'm just doing it where the sun would hit your face. And I do brush it over the blush a little bit. Sometimes I will put my blush on after the bronzer. It just depends on, it's just whatever I grabbed for first that day. But basically that's what I do with this. And this brush, you just use it super lightly. You don't have to push down on it. You just brush super light. And the next bronzer that I'm going to do is more of a contour of the cheeks. And I have a very round face. And so when I contour, I'm just kind of wanting to slim down my face just a little bit. And like in these hollows of the cheeks, that's where I really aim for. Like that. And one of the I have actually two brushes that I like to use for this, one in particular, and this is from Sedona Lace. It's the FB03, and it's this tulip shaped brush, and it's a very, very soft brush. And I do recommend if you get brushes with brush guards, do keep them in the brush guards because it will help them keep their shape. But I love how this one is pointed. This is great for, you know, like blush, bronzer. I mean, you can use this for a lot of different things because of the brush, the style of brush it is. And I love this little point because you could really get into those little areas. But and this is something that's actually fairly new for me. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And this is, I think, more of a sample size, and I have a feeling it's going to actually last quite a while. I got it in a sun care kit from Sephora, and this one is this color. There's no shimmer to it. It's very matte. It smells really good. It's actually made, I believe, it's actually made with real cocoa, so it smells like chocolate. And it smells delicious. I wish you could smell it. Here, there, smell that one. Just kidding. Okay. And then the color of this is very nice. It's a very nice soft brown. It's a cocoa brown, which, you know, it should be. And it's one of those bronzers that's buildable. There's the bronzer right there, but it's easily sheared out. It's also easily buildable. And the way I like to use this one, it's mostly for contour in here. So the way I use it is I just get a little on my brush, and then I mostly aim for that groove. And I'll show you the way I go back in to kind of accent that groove and make it a little bit more sunken in looking to slim the face down a little bit more. And this can also, if you're not careful, this can make you look muddy. So you do have to be careful with it. But I like to kind of blend it out too. And sometimes I will go in with my fingers and blend that out. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm just going to go in there and contour. And I have a little, just because I'm right-handed, this gets a little twisted up feeling to me. But especially when I'm not at a big mirror or something. But I'm just going in with this, and I'm going to kind of blend it out with the brush. And then I'm going to kind of go over it with my fingers just to blend it in just a little bit more. So you can see how that kind of deepens and how that kind of slims the face down. If you want to slim your nose down, and I don't always do this, you can also go kind of on the sides of your nose. And then you can also go, you know, warm up this area a little bit more if you'd like to. And the biggest thing is just play with it and get it to where you like it and where you feel comfortable. And the chin's a big area that gets hit by the sun. But if you contour here and then put a little bit of a highlight down your nose, this will slim your nose down tremendously, which I'm comfortable with my nose. So I'm just doing that part for a demonstration right there. But you can see how it casts a shadow. And I mean, up close it does not look muddy. And you can see how this is casting a shadow on the side, and you can see more of the hollows of my cheeks, which that is, you know, that is natural right there where it's sunken in. And since I've lost some weight, I can actually see it a lot more. So that's really helped with that. And then Also, another thing you can do with the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and this is using the Sedona Lace FB05 brush, and this is great for highlight or setting powder under your eyes or blush. I mean, this brush is really nice, super soft, super dense, and I like the Sedona Lace brushes a lot. But one thing, if you want to create a little bit more of a contour on the sides of your cheeks, and usually I don't go quite this dark, but what you can do is just go into your bronzer just a little bit more, tap it off, and then I just go right there in the hollow of the cheek. And that'll kind of define it just a little bit more. And I'll do that on this other side too. And if you have a hard time finding the hollow of your cheek, you can suck your face in kind of like a fish face, or a lot of times you can just look at it and see where that shadow goes and just follow that natural shadow, which with the shadow I'm almost getting a muddy look right now, but this is more demonstration than anything. Up close it does not look muddy. And another thing you can do is also kind of go around the jawline a little bit. And contour the jawline just a little bit more. But that's basically how I do the bronzer. I mean, a lot of time, I keep it very light. I don't do a lot of bronzer, kind of exaggerating it for you. And then also, because I don't tan, I used to, but I don't tan anymore. I don't really self-tan. So instead of doing that, instead of having my face look brown and my neck be white, and if I'm wearing like a lower cut shirt, I'll actually take the bronzer down onto my chest just a little bit. And the bronzer I actually like to use for this, it's in the It Cosmetics. It's the Live, Love, Laugh Vitality Face Disc. And I can go ahead and also show y'all how I do a highlighter with this too. But this has a highlighter, it has a peachy blush, and it has a bronzer. And this bronzer looks super dark, but it can also be sheared out to where someone with as fair skin as I have can wear it. And the way I like to do this bronzer is I use the Sedona Lace FB01. This is the fan brush, and this is one this and that tulip brush you really want to keep in the little sleeves that they come in. But what I like to do with this to more make my neck match my face is I just take some of it on here. This is so much easier to do in a big mirror. But I just brush it down my neck. And this also makes your neck look a lot thinner. And actually with this, I found with this one, it's not powdery at all, so you can tap your, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me, like with this one, if I tap my brush off, because it is not powdery. But I just like this, you know, to add a little extra color. And don't forget your ears, because you want your ears to kind of match. And you can see how it does blend in more, and then, you know, depending on how much color you want in your neck. You can make it blend in, you know, make it as dark as you feel like you need it to be. If you want this just a hair darker, a little bit more warmed up around the hairline, you can take it around the hairline. This brush is also very good for getting in the grooves of the cheeks here. It's good for highlight if you just want to do here or down the nose. That's something else you can do with it. And when I do a highlight with this, like down my nose, I do prefer using a bigger highlighter, bigger size highlighter that I can actually really get the brush in. So for this video, I'm gonna wipe this brush off and get the bronzer off of it. I'm going to take this highlighter right here, and you don't need much, and I'm going to just apply it right here on top of the cheekbone. And all you want to do really is, this is really bringing light to your face. You just want it to look like the light's reflecting. Like, I love the Lou Manizer from the Balm, that highlighter, but it's a little shimmery, so you have to use an extremely light hand on it or your face is going to shimmer. And this one is actually a pretty matte highlighter. You know, it's got a nice, kind of almost like a satin finish. It's got a glow to it more than anything. And then I like to bring it down my nose and just up right in here a little bit. And then also down around the Cupid's bow and a little bit just right there on the chin. You want to kind of just show, you know, like the bronzer is more where the sun would naturally hit, where you want it just a little darker. You know, it's for the contouring. Then this is just to bring light to your face. And that's how I do my my highlighter and my bronzer. So I do overall try to keep it looking very, very natural when I do it for every just day-to-day basis. But also though, doing the bronzer down here, you know, casts more of a shadow. It covers up any extra chins you may have. So it's really good for that. Also just contouring around the jawline will kind of slim your jawline, and then this slims your face, and then you're just warming up your face. You're just adding a little bit of color, you're adding a little bit of glow. So anyway, that is my bronzer highlighter review and demonstration. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Go ahead and like this video, comment. If you would say, and for these products that I showed you, I give them 2 thumbs up. They're wonderful, wonderful products, well worth the price. And I mean, there are drugstore brand, yeah, there are other drugstore ones that are probably very, very good. But these are just what I personally really like to use. And anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I will talk to everyone very, very soon. Bye.